A unit fraction is a fraction that has a value of 1 but is made of two different units of measure. Dimensional analysis is the process of multiplying a unit of measure by one or more unit fractions to convert to a different unit of measure. We use this to convert within the US system of measure. Common units of length in the US system are inches, feet, yards, and miles. In example 1, we want to write two unit fractions that could be used to convert between the given units of measure. Up first, we have feet and inches. One of those fractions could be 1 foot divided by 12 inches. Recognize that this fraction really represents 1, the number 1, because 1 foot and 12 inches are really the same thing. So when you have one value divided by that same value, we get 1. So this unit fraction looks a little funny, but it really represents 1. We could also flip the numerator and denominator. 12 inches divided by 1 foot. Since those two values are the same thing, 12 inches and 1 foot are really the same thing, that represents the number 1. We'll use these kind of fractions to convert between different units of measure in the US system. In part B, we have feet and miles. 5,280 feet make up 1 mile. This is a unit fraction because this represents the value 1. 5,280 feet is the same length or the same distance as 1 mile. So this fraction really represents the number 1. We could also flip this fraction and write it as 1 mile, 5,280 feet. This again is a unit fraction that really represents the number 1. In this example, we want to convert feet to miles. We start with 19,800 feet. And we're going to multiply that by 1, but it's going to be a funny looking 1. We're going to multiply by a fraction that represents the number 1. We want to end up with our units being miles. So we're going to put that unit in the numerator, and then the unit that we want to cancel or get rid of is feet. So we're going to put that on the opposite side of the division bar, in this case, in the denominator. Now we need to fill in the numbers that represent these two values. We know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. If it helps you, we can write the original number over a 1. We don't have to, but it helps if we recognize that this is now a fraction. And we're multiplying that fraction by a funny looking 1, so that when we multiply, notice the feet will cancel. They'll go away and we'll be left with miles. Now we're going to multiply fractions like we always do. Numerator times numerator. 19,800 times 1 is 19,800. And in the denominator, we have 1 times 5,280. And the units, we have miles. And now we can simplify this fraction. Let's use the calculator to do that. 19,800 divided by 5280. This gives us 3.75 miles. In part B, we want to convert miles to inches. In this example, we may need to do more than one conversion. We're going to start with 4 miles. Again, if you want to, we can put that over a 1 to help us make that look like a fraction. And now we're going to multiply by a funny looking 1. We want to eventually end up with inches, but we don't have a quick, easy conversion to jump from miles to inches. But we do have a conversion to go from miles to feet. So let's do that first. We'll put feet in the numerator and miles in the denominator. And now we need to throw in the numbers here. We know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Notice now the miles will go away, leaving us with feet. But we don't want feet, we actually want inches. So we need to multiply again by another funny looking 1. Recognize that this fraction represents 1. We need to do another 1, but this time we want to end up with inches. So we'll put inches in the numerator. We want feet to go away, so we'll put feet in the denominator. And we know the ratio here, 12 inches, is 1 foot. Recognize now that the feet will go away, leaving us with inches. And now we just have 3 fractions that we're multiplying. Let's again use the calculator to help us. In the numerator, we have 4 times 5,280 times 12. And we get 253,440 inches. Notice we don't need to divide by 1. Dividing by 1 is not going to change anything. In this example, we want to convert from inches to feet and inches. We'll start with 62 inches. Again, if it helps, we can put that over a 1. And we're going to multiply by a unit fraction that represents the number 1. We want to remove inches, so we'll put inches in the denominator. And ultimately, we want feet as part of our answer, so we'll leave feet in the numerator. Notice inches will go away, but now we have to fill in the numbers here. We know that 1 foot is 12 inches. When we multiply, in the numerator, 62 times 1 is 62. In the denominator, we have 1 times 12, which is 12. Right now, the unit is in feet. Let's do the math here in the calculator. 62 divided by 12 is 5 feet and a part of another foot. So let's start with the 5 feet that we know. The rest is part of a foot, or just inches. We know that we're starting with 62 feet. 5 feet, if we do 5 times 12, that is 60 inches. So we can subtract that 5 feet, or 60 inches, to get 2 inches left over. So we have 5 feet and 2 inches in 62 inches. Next, we have 5 yards and 2 feet. We want to convert to feet. 5 yards is where we're starting, and we want to multiply by a unit fraction. We want yards in the denominator, and we want to end up with feet. We know that there are 3 feet for every 1 yard. So multiplying 5 times 3, we get 15. 1 times 1 is 1. Recognize that the yards go away, leaving us with the 15 feet. So 5 yards is 15 feet. But we also have the extra 2 feet to begin with. So we're going to add that 2 feet to the 15. to get 17 total feet. In example 4, we're adding. We have 10 feet and 8 inches plus 6 feet and 9 inches. We want to add the same units, so 10 feet and 6 feet will give us 16 feet. 8 inches plus 9 inches is 17 inches. Now 17 inches is more than a foot, so let's talk about that off to the side. 17 inches. 1 foot is 12 inches, so if we subtract 1 foot or 12 inches, we get 5 inches left. We now have 16 feet. 17 inches we can write as 1 foot plus 5 inches. Now, 16 feet, 1 foot is 17 feet, 5 inches. So the total sum, 17 feet, 5 inches. This time we're subtracting. We have 22 yards and 1 foot minus 13 yards and 2 feet. We can't take 2 feet away from 1 foot, so we need to borrow. We'll have to borrow from the yards, making the yards 21 yards. And we'll add 1 yard to the 1 foot. We know that 1 yard is really 3 feet. So now we have 4 total feet minus 2. 4 minus 2 is 2 feet in this case. And then the yards, we have 21 minus 13. 21 minus 13 is 8. So we end up with 8 yards and 2 feet.